At this point, this is what our page looks like. And we are going to make it look a whole lot better by adding some CSS styling. And I'm going to pause this video while I put the styling in, and then we will take a look at what it's doing. First thing we're going to style is the aside. And if we look in the code, it is this little section here. And right now, that information is here, and the graphic is over here on the right. And we're going to format it so that it all displays over here on the right with a nice little border around the outside edge. So how we are doing that is we are doing a float right, and that will have all of the content in this section go to the right-hand side. We're setting a width of 30%. And if people resize their screens, we are turning overflow on. We're setting it to auto so that the scroll bars will display. And then we're putting a nice little border around it. 10 pixels, colors tan, the style is inset. And then, so the text doesn't go right up against the edge of the border, we are putting some padding between the border and the text. We do have a background color specified, even though we have a background image. And again, that's if they were to resize the screen, and not all of the image covered the background. We are also adjusting the font size. So I'm going to comment out the rest of this so we can just focus on the aside so you guys can see what that does. And let's see. Oh, I got another comment in there. The only problem with commenting out. Maybe I won't comment out. Here. Let me save this, and then I'm going to cut and save again. Come over here, and let's just reload. All right, so this is the little aside area that I was just talking about. I wanted you to be able to just focus on what changed here. So now we're going to go and we're going to style heading 1, which is this. And we're also going to do all of the heading 2s. Okay, so those are the main headings for our recipe page. So I'm going to paste that code back in here. And now I should be able to kind of comment out the rest down here. As long as I don't lose everything. And let's try that again. Come on. There. All right, let me save. So for our heading 1, our main title, we are changing the color to goldenrod, which is kind of a pale yellow. And to make that pop a little bit, we are putting a text shadow around it. So we've got a horizontal and a vertical setting. I'm also setting a blur so that the shadow won't be a crisp line. It'll be more fuzzy. And we are choosing black for the color. As far as the font goes, we're going to do more of a cursive-like font. And we're going to make the text quite a bit larger, almost 3 times the regular size, and we're going to center a line. Then for the subtitle, we are still going with the pale goldenrod color, but instead of doing a regular text shadow, what we're going to do is outline the text. And I put a little comment in here so you could kind of tell where these lines are going. So the very first setting of -1 pixels and 0, that is on the left side of each letter. So it kind of moves the line off the letter to the left. Then the next setting, and that would be 0 and 1 pixel, that is at the bottom. And again, it is moving the line away from the letter. The third setting of 1 pixel and 0 is the right side, so it's just moving it 1 pixel over. And then the top setting is the final one, where it is moving the line up off the letter. And you can really see this if you actually pick different colors. It shows quite a bit better. But I will kind of zoom in and kind of show you how that works. Then we've specified a little different font for our heading 2. We are putting a border on the bottom so that there will be a line across the screen. And we are adding a little additional spacing between each letter. So let's save this, and we're going to reload our page. Okay, and here you can see our title does pop quite a bit with the text shadow. And here's that little outline I was talking about. And let me zoom in. And so you can see how we've got a line on the left, then we've got the line on the bottom, the line on the right, and the line on the top. And it does that for every single letter. So we've got the left, the bottom. And what's interesting on this T is the bottom is not only at the base of the T, it's also at the underline of the line that crosses the T. Okay, and then we've got the right side, and then we have the top. Okay, so you can use text shadow for either effect. And we have a couple additional things we're going to be styling. We are going to style summary and detail and make that pop out a little bit more. And I'm going to remove the comment here. So for summary, and if you remember, that is this text that we are clicking on. That is what is displayed in summary. What we want is a little different font. We want the text to be a little bit bigger. We want it to be italics, and we're going to change the color to brown. For the details, all we really want is to make sure the color is black. And the details, in this case, are the bulleted list of ingredients for each portion of our lovely crumb cake. And then for the ordered list, the unordered list, and our definition list, we're just going to increase the line height a little bit, and that'll put a little bit more space in those areas. So let me save this. And then we'll pop over here, and we're going to reload this. And you should notice there's a little more space between the bullets. Okay, and between our items. And that was done with line height. And there's just one more little thing we're going to do as far as CSS here, is we're going to put a border around the outside of our recipe, kind of similar to this bottom border that we have under H2. And we're going to be placing that border in the main section, because if you look, everything in this recipe is contained inside main. And we've already got the width set to 70%. So we're going to add a border, and we're going to use the groove style. We'll make it tan in color and 30 pixels. So it'll be fairly thick. Let's save that. And we'll come back over here and reload. Okay, and now you can see what that looks like.